Hey Valley Middle kids, welcome back to another math lesson. Today we're going to be talking about two-step equations, but first let's get to something kind of fun. The question today is, what is the definition of a crazy long basketball shot? You should probably make that one word, huh? All right, let's get to the target of the day. Officially, our target is, I can solve two-step equations using inverse operations. Let's do this thing. We got to start off with some must-know words. First of all, what the heck is a two-step equation? Well, a two-step equation is really just an equation where you have to do two different steps. Remember before when we had like 2x equals 8, and all we had to do is just take and divide divide 2x by 2 and divide 8 by 2, and we ended up with x equals 4. Well, that was just one step. Now we're going to do two steps. So we're going to add in something to it. So here's the definition of a two-step equation. Hang on to your seats. It's pretty complicated. Any equation that takes two steps to solve. I made that up myself. I know, it's pretty amazing. But take a look at this equation here. We got 2x minus 1 equals 7. Well, step one is we got to add 1 to each side. Again, remember our goal is to try to isolate the variable, get that variable by itself. So we add 1, and then we end up with 2x equals 8. Well, just like my little equation over here, we divide by 2, and we get x equals 4. Let's make sure it works. Substitute 4 back in. 2 times 4 is 8, minus 1 equals 7. It's in the hole. It works. Sorry, it's my Bill Murray imitation from Caddyshack. But that's another story for another video. All right, now let's look at an example, a real life example. Aisha wants to have her birthday party at the movies. It costs $27 for pizza and $8.50 per friend for the movie tickets. Since it's Aisha's birthday, she does not have to pay for her movie ticket. How many friends can Aisha have at her party if she has $78 to spend? All right, well, the cost of the pizza is going to be the same. So then we got plus $8.50, that's the cost for one friend, times n number of friends, because we're not sure how many she can invite, and that's got to equal 78, because that's what she's got to spend. So, see how we set up that two-step equation? Not too different than 2x minus 1, different situation. So, when we write it out, we end up with, there's the $27 for the pizza plus $8.50 per friend times n friends equals 78. Now all of a sudden it looks like we're doing some pretty serious math. And we are. But you can handle this. Just remember our steps. First step, we're going to subtract 27. Again, to try to isolate the variable. That brings us down into $8.50 or 8.5 n equals 51. Well, then this is multiplication, so what we have to do is we have to divide each side, because remember, if it's multiplication, we isolate by dividing. So when we isolate that, or when we divide 850 by 850, of course we get n. When we divide 51 by 850, we end up with 6. Therefore, she can bring 6 friends. And look at, this is right out of the book, by the way. See how they check it too? 27 plus $8.50 times 6 equals 68. They balanced it out again. 27 plus 51, because that's what 850 times 6 equals 78. And they checked to make sure it's true. Now, going from a word problem to an actual answer is a little more difficult, but I want you to understand how it applies in the real world. Today, our target's just going to be, I'm going to give you a two-step equation, and you're going to have to solve it. So let's take a look at one of those examples, now that you've kind of got an idea what we're doing. All right, your turn. 6y plus 2 equals 26. So what are you thinking? First steps? Did you say subtract 2? That's what I would do. You subtract 2 from both sides, and you're going to end up with 6y equals 24. Now, what do? I don't have my little cheaters up here anymore. But this is multiplication, so how are you going to isolate that? That's right, you're going to divide. So you divide by 6, and you end up with y equals 4. Now, just like always, we have to check to see if that's right, so let's put it in. 6 times 4, well, that's 24, plus 2 equals 26. It's a miracle. Very nice. All right. Your turn now. Try this one on your own. What will your first step be? What will your second step? Can you figure out what those steps will be without even starting the problem? You should be able to. Go ahead and try it. I'm back. Sorry, I was trying not to move my lips. All right. Did you subtract 3 from both sides? That's what I would do. You betcha. You did. And you end up with z over 4 equals 2. Now, this is a weird one. Kids look at z over 4 and they freak out. Don't freak. This is division. What do you do? What's the opposite of division? Multiplication. That's right. Did you multiply? Well, you multiply by 4 over 1. Those 4's will cross out, and you end up with z equals 2 times 4, which is z equals 8. Let's pop it in and see if it works. 8 divided by 4. I want to show you how I got that 8 divided by 4. Remember our original problem, z over 4? So you pop the 8 in, so you got 8 divided by 4, and I just wrote it a different way down here. 8 divided by 4, well, that's 2, plus 3 equals 5. And you are doing some serious math, my friend. All right. Solve this multiplication equation. Go ahead and give it a shot. Okay, I put this little cheat sheet back in over there this time to help you, since you're working on your own. All right. Well, first of all, you should have subtracted 4. That would leave you 3h equals 36. You can probably solve that in your head. But if you divide each side by 3, you get h equals 12. Oh, Tommy want wingy. Tommy want wingy. I don't know. I just love that picture. Sorry about that. All right. Now, 3 times 12, well, that'd be 36. Plus 4 equals 40. So when I substitute it back in, my equation works. Or sorry, my solution to that equation works. All right, I think we got one more before the ticket to the show. Here we go. You're on your own. Okie doke. Let's see. I'm going to move this guy up because this is a multiplication one, so I know I'm going to have to solve the second step with division. First step would be to subtract because I got a plus 24 here. So I subtract 24 from both sides. I get 4j equals 48. Now I got multiplication, so I divide. Divided by 4. They'll isolate that j. So now I got j equals 12. Looks reasonable. Pop it in. 4 times 12. Well, that's 48. Plus 24. 48 plus 20 would be 64. Sorry, 48 plus 20 would be 68. Add another 4. 72. Very nice. All right, you are ready for the ticket to the show. All right, here you go. You got a 39 equals a 4d minus a 1. Now you got a 16y plus a 2 equals a 50. Those are your 2 tickets. You bring me those and I'll give you the keys to Mr. McKegg's truck. Not really, but we can pretend. All right, there you go. What? You want to know about the Just for Fun? Okay, this one's kind of fun. It's going to be a little long, so if you're bored, shut her off. All right, what is the definition of a crazy long basketball shot? Well, I Googled it, and I came up with some crazy stuff on YouTube. There's the top 40. I'll pause it for a second so you can see what it is. I just put in longest basketball shot in the world. Here are the top 7, and they're pretty cool. Here we go. This is, all right, here we go. Are you kidding me? Sorry, that's my Chris Berman imitation. All right, quit celebrating. Let's move on. Don't try this at home. It could go in. He scores. Don't try that one either, especially at your church. All right, quit your celebrating. Let's move on. I think this is Dude Perfect. They do a lot of these type of things, but look at this thing. What? That's nuts. All right, Moving on. Okay. How did you get a basketball hoop into the bottom of the canyon? Check it out. You can't even see them. They're way up there. This little teeny thing moving. What? All right. This one here, is this the one that doesn't even show the basketball going in? Yeah, that's super. What? All right. They can't even see where they're shooting. It's in the hole. All right. The number one shot. It's pretty good. Oh, this is the dude perfect one. I'm almost positive. Look at this. Are you kidding me? That's pretty fun. Anyway, longest field goals, longest basketball shots, stuff like that. It's kind of fun to watch. So, all right. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. I got to get you out of here and shut you off. Have a good evening.